Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris Ashes to Ashes. So, I'm thinking this is going to be the last part for this series, to be honest. If somehow during this part the contingency manages to eke into that 20% and trigger the Cybrix to resurface, then we might continue the series, but I honestly don't see them eking into 20% this part, so this will probably be the last part. But for now, we just wait for our fleets to finish rebuilding for what seems like the millionth time. If I had the money, actually, I could theoretically build a fourth fleet, but I don't have the money. That would take ages anyway, so... not something I expect to see occur. Swap out our missiles. Go ahead and get all those upgrades done, game.
Our ships have been upgraded.
There we go. Oh, do I want to wait the 200 days? Oh yeah, it doesn't really matter. These guys aren't going to do much. $4 months, and hopefully we'll get something particularly useful out of this, but I kind of doubt it. Okay, you're almost there. But you still have, I think it's one more upgrade. I think it's Star Fortress to Citadel, though I could be remembering wrong. Once you're Citadel, I'll be building an ion cannon here. Because the contingency is getting fairly close to Cybrix Alpha. Which is, to be honest, a somewhat important location for us. Yep, there we go. You know, to be honest, I kind of prefer if you go ahead and just gun for the Citadel. Sure, Ministry of Benevolence. We won't be seeing that in action this series. Well, I think I've shown it off in the past, so it doesn't really matter. Sure, Advanced Strike Craft. So, no, we didn't get any useful things there. Again, if this does end up being the last part, we will, I think, just for the hell of it, basically finish the series off in a blaze of glory with an attack here on Sterilization Hub 2. Do I expect to win it? No, but it'll be hopefully interesting to watch. Okay, not quite. I could build about half of a fleet. So, minor correction when I said if I had the money I could build a fourth fleet. I wouldn't really be able to afford a fourth fleet. At least not a full fourth fleet. Okay, for some reason, apparently the other ships decided not to go. So, I don't know what the fuck happened there. Game decided not to select all 3 fleets. I don't know why. So, what the fuck happened there, game? I've clicked over here. Okay, that means you select all military fleets in the system. Apparently the game decided not to do that. Because wouldn't it be funny if you only sent a single fleet that can't fight the contingency by itself because it's only about half the strength? Wouldn't it be funny if you sent it over there and you didn't realize and you lost an entire fleet because of it? That's at least my thought process as to what the game was hoping for. Did your Titan survive? Yes, it did. Wonderful, because that thing would have taken for fucking ever to rebuild if you lost it. I wish I could see a little bit more as to what's going on with the League. Just so I can see if, you know, they're actually doing anything. Okay. You're at skill 7, wonderful. You have arrested development, which isn't good. That's honestly very annoying. I really do hate how our people seem to be getting arrested development pretty regularly. Okay. Now you guys head home. So you can repair, because you should be at least damaged a little bit. And that'll still take 10 years. Do we actually have any row? Oh, we do. Well, that's nice. Doesn't really matter. Like I said, it's not the most useful. And there's something else I can do to increase my Unity production. Are our sectors being taxed fully? Yes, they are. And ooh, this sector has tons of stuff. Aha, because it's an ongoing crisis, it does apparently allow me to drain it at the cost of 25 influence, the same cost as if I was in a defensive war. So, in theory, I could take a boatload of minerals out of the Rodenek sector right now. And I think that would be enough, actually, to build a 4th fleet. Again, the issue comes with me affording it. Also, it's a time-consuming process to build a 4th fleet. Maybe I'll do it at the end. of this part when it doesn't really matter, and I'll just turn on instant build or whatever and then do it. We'll see. And we just wait out building. Luckily, it's a lot of destroyers right now, and those don't take long to pump out. Out of curiosity, game. No, I'm guessing not. Yeah, that's supposed to be a plus 33% build speed, but I'm not seeing it. And plus 15% within our borders. But is that a plus 15% period, or I don't know. I'd have to send one of these ships out to be outside of our borders to see if there's a difference in that plus fire rate. I'm assuming we're not getting that bonus because, again, we're not in a defensive war. We're in a crisis, which is technically a defensive war, but as far as the game is concerned, it is not a defensive war. Because, you know, that's just how it works. It's effectively a defensive war in all but name. Now, the game's saying 4. Okay, yeah, no, it is 4. How are you guys doing? Feel free to expand up here, beat the crap out of those guys. You guys, I think you lost a little bit of stuff. But, maybe you'll turn it around. And the greater good. Wonderful. I have heard that Hit and Run is actually a pretty good war doctrine. Apparently it's a little bit on the overpowered side, but it's not like overpowered. But yeah, apparently it is a little bit more powerful than some of these other options, so I think I might actually switch to that. Because I don't think that plus 10% weapons range is really helping us, because at the end of the day, all the battles just turn into a giant ball of ships flying around, somewhere roughly halfway between where the two fleets were when they started the engagement. So yeah, we'll switch to Hit and Run. At least then more ships will get away, and I won't have to pay as much money to rebuild.
Construction complete.
Okay, go to Medak because they have another fleet already. Okay, the game doesn't seem to be consistent about when it spawns a new contingency fleet. Sometimes it does it quickly, other times it takes a little while to spawn a new one down here. So I don't know what the hell the mean time to happen is for it, but it's definitely a little weird. In my opinion, at least. Oh yes, you guys are now outside. So is there a difference in the fire rate? No, it is a plus 79%, so yeah, we're not getting that bonus right now.
We have mastered a new technology.
Wonderful. Advanced tradecraft. I don't care. Starbase upgrade, cost, and build speed. Sure, why not? And now we wait. Nobody lost a Titan or anything, right? No, I'm not seeing any there. I'm seeing like all destroyers and a cruiser at the bottom. You still have a long ways to go. as far as I can tell, the contingency doesn't seem to combat disengage. So I think disruption field would probably be useful, though. You want shield pen, but I can't really give you shield pen there. Although I suppose I could build a anti-contingency thing here. Am I really not allowed to put cloud lightning and whatnot there? Really? That's a little weird, to be honest, that you can't put cloud lightning on stations. No game. You don't use the sapient combat computers because we have the ghost signal, and that absolutely wrecks your fire rate. I don't think this is really going to buff us too much. Okay, we're already about halfway through, so yeah. Once these fleets finish rebuilding, I'm going to go ahead and turn on instant build and I think build a 4th fleet. Let's go into the fleet manager and go ahead and start designing a 4th fleet. Uh, 10 of all our destroyers. Is it 20 of all of our corvettes? Yep. Just so that we can have a bigger bang for the final battle. And you guys are all going to get built there. Admittedly, whether or not the game actually builds you here is a bit of a different story. Because I noticed the game likes to, when you try and build a new fleet and you set a home base here, it doesn't actually build the first ship here. Which is stupid, because then what's the point, game? Of allowing us to set a home base in the fleet manager for new fleets if you're not gonna build the initial ship here or at wherever the home base is set at. Almost done. Is that actually even enough? No, I don't think that would actually be enough, what we have right now on hand. But we'll see. I will need to enable capacity overload during this process, but it can wait. I still don't think 4 fleets would actually be enough to deal with that, but oh well, it really doesn't fucking matter to me at this point.
Construction complete.
So yes, that's going to... Honestly, this is, I think, basically going to be it for this part. We're about 20 minutes in. So let's go ahead and build this. And basically just remove everything that's being built there.
Construction complete.
And I don't have the resources to do that. Capacity overload, we're still technically losing money even with it. And I can't afford that, so I'll just get rid of a scientist, because who the hell cares? And final battle. I may or may not continue playing this save for myself afterwards. We'll see. But yes, that's going to be it for this part after this battle. I really don't give a shit how it ends. We're just going to go and try and have a nice big final battle. Okay, wait for you all to move into position. Okay. So, this is our fleet for the final battle against the contingency. Like I said though, regarding the return of Stellaris, it will happen after the next major patch. So, or next major DLC rather. So if the next DLC, like I said in the last part, is a story pack or a species pack, Stellaris won't be coming back as a traditional Let's Play. Stellaris Saturday, if me and Joe can work out setting up the return of that series, that will continue to occur. But at the very least, a traditional Stellaris Let's Play where I go record the videos, render them, and upload them to YouTube, I don't plan for that to occur until the return of, or until the next major DLC. So, basically think something like Utopia or Apocalypse. A major DLC like that. Let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to slow the game down to normal speed so that, you know, this takes longer to fill up time, I guess. Why not?
One of our spaceports is under attack.
What button do I have it set for? Oh, yeah, well, I was thinking of turning off the UI, but I can't do that. I have it in Bandicam set up at F9, and I don't feel like trying to change it while in the middle of a recording, because Control F9 is to hide the UI. I wish I could change the hotkey combination or the key combination for that, but sadly that's not possible. Now, because of the way Stellaris picks its targets, that's basically going to be one of the reasons why we're going to lose this, pretty much guaranteed. Because it doesn't seem designed around the idea of selecting the right ships.
one of our mining stations has been lost.
We will get a pretty big mess of debris. So, you know, if you want to see a massive debris field, you get to see that. But yeah, there's no way in hell this was going to end in a victory. Now, in theory, if I were to instant build the fleets back up and attack again immediately after, we'd probably win. But that's basically the only way we'd be able to do this. Because the amount of time it would actually take to rebuild the fleets, yeah, that ain't gonna fucking happen. We wouldn't be able to rebuild fast enough. And we're only looking at the fleet here. We still have to deal with this. The AI core, the outpost. But yeah, we would have to be able to attack here immediately again with all of our fleets back at full. And that's assuming they don't manage to rebuild that in the meantime.
Building ruined. Hostile Xeno fleet detected. We have mastered a new technology.
Okay, that basically took us to 30 minutes, so not that bad. You know, just for the hell of it, we'll see how that works out if I do, if I was able to go ahead and attack again immediately after. We're gonna have to wait until the first. Give the game a chance to let everybody heal up. Looks like a number of people got Trickster during that, though. And yeah, like I said, just for the hell of it, we'll see. How does it go if we were to be able to actually attack again immediately after? I assume it would go better. Partly because we're also not going to have a bunch of our shots wasted on transport ships. That we're right on the front line, so our fleets, or our ships, of course, decide in their infinite wisdom that it's in their best interest to shoot at those transport ships first. But yeah, look at all that debris. That's a nice looking debris field.
Building ruined. Xeno invaders are defiling one of our planets.
And I think this should go generally better. It wish the game wouldn't show the transport fleets at the top, to be honest with you, though. That's a little annoying.
Our planet has been occupied by alien filth.
Yeah, that's going much better. Yeah, we would have to attack here twice with 4 fleets, basically immediately after the previous attack, so the reality is we wouldn't be able to do that, so well, shit, that, oh no, they still have the fleet there. Never mind, it's just the game, again, in infinite wisdom, has decided to change its initial, or its primary targets from dealing with the fleet that is shooting at you to going after the outpost that declares that this system is a contingency system. Because, you know, that's just how stupid the game is with its targeting. It's actually very annoying how the game selects its targets, because it doesn't do it in what I would consider a particularly intelligent manner. I mean, to be honest, stations aren't typically a massive threat. So what I would prefer for the game to do, all things considered, is to always attack the enemy fleet. Okay? Then the stations, then transport ships. The way it seems to work is military stuff, then transports. With no particular order for the military stuff. So there you go. That would technically result in us winning. And yes, like I said, that would we would not be able to realistically do this. It just doesn't work, I think, is the simplest way to describe that. And all in this part, once we see what happens after bringing this down to surface integrity of 0. I'm pretty sure that just turns it into a tomb world or something. Oh, a broken world, in fact. Okay. Sterilization Hub 002, the machine world in the Monakadir system, has been destroyed after being subjected to heavy orbital bombardment. The planet's AI core self-destructed to prevent capture by triggering a massive antimatter device hidden deep beneath the surface. With the destruction of this planet, the Ghost Signal has lost an important relay station and its strength has waned considerably as a result. In addition, the explosion on the planet has spread large deposits of living metal across its surface. This strange metal has several unique properties, and it's used by the contingency in the construction of all its war forms and factories. I'm pretty sure we already have it, yeah, so it's not really all that interesting. The idea that there's living metal, yeah, no, game, we've known about living metal for probably like the last 100 years. And that brings it down from minus 50% firing rate to minus 40% firing rate. Oh, so useful. Not really. no one's going to notice the difference. Mostly because you shouldn't be using sapient combat computers at all when you're fighting the contingency. So, to be honest, unless you're playing as some species that is somehow locked into using sapient combat computers, or you're role-playing a species that is locked into using sapient combat computers once it's unlocked, there is literally no reason to use sapient combat computers while you're busy fighting the contingency. Any other endgame crisis, sure, feel free to use the sapient combat computers, but if the contingency spawns, you switch immediately. Unless you're role-playing, or you are somehow literally locked into using those. As far as I know, you're never locked into using them, so it's basically limited to role-playing being locked into it. Because I'm pretty sure even Machine Empires get the standard combat computers that we've been using. But that'll be it for this part. I'm not 100% sure yet what will be replacing Stellaris, but I'll see you all in the next part. Reminder, I do have a Patreon down in the description if you wish to become one. It really helps me out, even if you do it at just the $1 a month tier, because if enough people do it, it all adds up. Like I said, because I've said in the past at least, that's mostly because I don't get any ad revenue or anything from doing YouTube. So there's nothing to cover any of the costs of doing this. So, yeah. It's appreciated if you do become a patron. Again, even if it's just $1 a month tier, it's basically all you need to get the really worthwhile rewards. Because there's really only one worthwhile reward, and that is early access to my videos. And guess what you get at that tier? You get early access to my videos. There are other rewards, but that's the main one that I would imagine most people would really care for. But yes, so I will see you all in whatever the next video it is on the channel that you watch, whether that be my EU4 Make America British again, or whatever series replaces Stellaris. But until then, a goodbye and farewell.